56 Counties American Light Lager, a beer for Montanans and friends of Montanans.
At Shields, we're anglers, endlessly seeking and refining techniques. We're hunters and storytellers, because we've been out there. We're experts that put products and gear to the test, so we can share that knowledge with you. At Shields, we understand your outdoor journey and the path you're on, because we walk it too, every step of the way. Shields, right there with you.
Bring the whole family to the Stone of Accord for a wonderful brunch. From traditional comfort food to eclectic specials, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And it wouldn't be a proper Missoula brunch without an Irish coffee and a mimosa. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino. At the Stone of Accord, we use the freshest ingredients to create our homemade traditional Irish classics, fresh salads, and creative specials. Come enjoy our warm, family-friendly atmosphere. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
DeMorris Buick GMC is ready to help you safely travel Montana's scenic roads in comfort and style. Stop by DeMorris today and test drive some outstanding SUVs. Right now, take advantage of closeout pricing on the uniquely designed and well-equipped 2024 Buick Encore GX with models starting at $28,895. Don't miss this opportunity. Go to demorris.com to preview our inventory of 2024 Buick Encores and then pay a visit to DeMorris Buick GMC on West Broadway in Missoula, your family-owned hometown dealership for over 60 years.
Jeff Safford back with you here in Steed Arena in our state capitals, Helena, Montana. Second year in a row. We see Grizz hockey descend upon Steed Arena to take on the Utah State Aggies next week opposite the Montana State Bobcats. Also, remember in the month of January, Montana and all four Treasure States ACHA teams, as the officials now make their way onto the ice, now just a few minutes away from pregame introductions here in Helena. But the Montana Cup for the second year in a row, second annual event. A lot of fun to see it get going last year, to see all four teams take part in that little mini tournament that will also be happening this season as well. Just a little bit earlier in the year than last year. Last season was right at the tail end of the season before conference. Now this season it will be right after the holiday break come January. So that should be fun. Utah State, they're scheduled for the weekend. Mention that it is a Treasure State tour of sorts for the University of Utah, Utah State, and Weber State, all three. Aggies will make the trek up Interstate 15 either tonight after the game or tomorrow morning, depending on where they're staying. They will play the University of Providence tomorrow night, who got off to a great start to their regular season, as here come the Aggies, led by their veteran netminder Titan Anderson, playing in his fifth season in Logan. A very solid goalie over the last few seasons. Career save percentage over 90 in over 80 starts in his career. He leads the Aggies out tonight with their dark blue uniforms trimmed in silver and white. Montana taking the ice now. They're in their white uniforms, led tonight by starting netminder Jordan Belay. Makes his third start in 4 games this season. Belay really had a nice effort, I felt, in Montana's win on Saturday. Allowed just 1 goal against MSU Denver, and it was in a unique circumstance as well, with the Roadrunners in the last 15 seconds of a period actually pulled the goalie and had a 6-on-5 man advantage for the last about 15 seconds. Were able to find a goal in the last couple of seconds of that one, and that was the only thing that he gave up in that win over the Roadrunners. Looks like just a few minutes away from the opening face-off. We got pre-game introductions coming along with Mitch Fern, the public address announcer of University of Montana. He made the trip over to Helena, so let's let you listen to Mitch. Starters just introduced for Utah State, now Montana. All right, we should be just about set to rock and roll. Pre-game festivities, national anthem, all taken care of. Now just let's put 20 minutes up on the clock and let's get a first period underway. Reiterate the starters. We'll start with the Utah State Aggies. Starting in net, mentioned veteran netminder number 35, Titan Anderson. They've heard the little bit of an ovation for one of the former Bighorns that I mentioned, Owen Ramsey, in the starting lineup tonight, the left D, along with Jack LaFontaine, the other defenseman, right D. Number 28, Luke Anderson is tonight's left wing with Reese Bynum, the right winger. And the center tonight for Utah State is, out of Ogden, Utah, DJ Freegang. just about ready. Max Toilet to face it off for the Grizzlies, and off we go. 20 minutes up on the clock. Rolling now. First period, Mountain West Collegiate Hockey League action underway on the ESPN MT app, GrizzHockey.com, and 102.9 ESPN Radio. Puck will start in the offensive zone of the Grizzlies. Anderson touched it up in the defensive zone for the Aggies. A whistle sounds to stop play with 19:40 to go, just 20 seconds gone in our hockey game. Face-off draw in the near circle, taken out by LaFontaine for Utah State. Gliding into the zone, backhanding a pass towards LaFontaine from the outside wall. This will be gloved down, pushed towards the net by Bynum of the Aggies, towards the glove of Jordan Belay. 30 seconds now in. No score. Looks like it will be stepping in Bynum for the face-off against Luke Pizzi for Montana. Face-off goes to LaFontaine, far blue line, getting pressure from Gray Wagner as it comes into the near corner. Gray Wagner's going to let Bynum get to the puck, slide it behind the net. Who will meet it there? First, Terry Lermont, the defenseman, as it comes back to the near wall, now into the far corner. Almost a minute gone in our opening period with Lermont forcing the puck into the near corner now. Terry Lermont able to send it up towards Anderson, who cycles it back into the zone. Bynum, backhanded pass through the slot. Johnny Baird's stick is there for the Grizzlies, able to get it down the far wall. Ramsey is going to meet it first, and this will be icing called against Montana as it comes to the left of the net of the Aggies. 18:57 in our opening period. No score on ESPN Radio. Looks like Zach Pierce may be the choice for the face-off here. Very experienced player, as I mentioned. Coming into this season, 135 points in 116 games. Face-off win, Montana coming towards the offensive zone. Gray Wagner on the stick of Baird. Baird, a backhanded shot over the head of Anderson and into the protective netting. With now 18:49 up on the clock. Grizzlies will get a whole new group out there. Offensively, Delane Rabbit will take a face-off. No, actually will be the veteran Clay Walker. Rabbit flanking Walker. Also on the ice for Montana, in this instance, Colton Plant, first-year player out of Eagle, Idaho. LaFontaine takes it into the offensive zone with some pressure right on the blue line, ending up going loose towards the stick of Pierce. Zach Pierce using a screen and some speed to gain the zone, offensive zone, far side. Leaves a pass, looking for Boggin at the point. Puck goes loose, near circle. Backhanded by Clay Walker. Around the wall she comes towards Rabbit. Rabbit gives it a look up, slides one into the neutral zone. Clay Walker with some pressure from Pfeiffer, sees it come loose. Jackson Ferry, another veteran, ends up with it, goes back towards Boggin and the Aggies' net. Pass up ahead, looking to get through the defensive zone. Ferry kind of pushing it along. Gifford on it as well, along with Rabbit. Rabbit sends it back towards the offensive zone. Bogan meets it for Utah State. Sent towards the zone, towards the stick of Ferry. That knocked away. Here comes Will Pankratz. Meets some traffic. Able to get a pass off to Ben Kramers. Far corner it goes. Ben Kramers cycles it around the wall to the near corner. Met there by Bogan for the Aggies. Stretch pass up ahead on a stick of Pilgrim all the way down the near dasher. This will be icing against Utah State. Pass intended for Teague. Pilgrim comes off his stick but is icing. Former Boston Terrier in the EHL is Pilgrim, a new player on this roster this season out of Kohler, Wisconsin. 17:38 in our opening stands, a no score between the Aggies and Grizzlies. Glad you're with us on a Thursday. Face-off win, Max Toila towards the stick of Alex Neibauer. Looking to push it further down into the corner. Aggies win the puck back. Here's Jack Wallace sending it in to the left of Belay. Belay behind his own net. He's going to push it into the far corner towards a man in white. It's Neibauer. Neibauer's stretch pass intercepted. This ends up with Luke Anderson. Anderson comes right near the scorer's table. Wallace now retreating back to Anderson. Anderson slides it near side. Now right back over to Anderson. Anderson looking to get to the neutral zone. Anderson using a screen from Wallace, attacking zone. Far circle. Pass shot is stopped by Belay from the right wing, or the right slot rather. Getting a bit loose there, Caleb Sanborn out of Fairbanks. 70-plus games in his career. Also has tallied 40 points, so can do some things offensively. Got a good look there in the slot, but stopped by Belay. 17 minutes, 2 seconds. Face off, far circle, battled for, coming towards the net briefly, only to see Gray Wagner push it back towards Ramsey, who shoots it around the wall, and it goes up and over the glass. So, and Ramsey, the defenseman, had it on his stick for a moment, only to see it go out of play. Sanborn now will take the draw. Face-off ends up towards the stick of Teague Wagner, now with Sanborn directly behind the net. Sanborn with Learmonth in his hip pocket as it comes into the near corner now. To Baum at the point. Baum's wrister is gloved by Belay. Right in front of the Montana bench, the defenseman lets it go, Logan Baum. Former Oiler in the USPHL, another Orange County guy. Fair amount of Southern California on this roster for Utah State. Sanborn, another face-off with Baum right behind him. Also flanked by the defenseman Braden Moody out of Mesa, Arizona. Face-off going up against the near wall. Into the corner. Looking to fish it out is Javi Hamlin. Pushing in it. Cross into the corner was the defenseman Gabe Kindgren for Montana. Now pushed to Baird. Baird backhands it into the neutralized glove down. Here comes Gray Wagner. A wrist shot is steered into the near corner by Titan Anderson. Anderson hasn't faced too many challenges as of yet as we near the 16-minute mark of period number 1. Action all knotted up at 0-0. Javi Hamlin behind his own net to break out. Leaves it for Kindgren. Gabe Kindgren coming down the far wall. Kindgren gives it a look up, shoots it into the zone. Meeting it there looks to be Plant. Plant behind the net, leaves it for Walker, far corner. Pass to the point. Hamlin, a wrist shot, directed high and over the net, just barely. Grizz bench reacted thinking that was going in, top shelf on a redirect, almost. Right there was Colton Plant meeting the puck in a great spot. Near side, just could not quite find the touch they were looking for. About as good as positioning as you could ask for in that spot. Max Toila to take the face-off for the Grizzlies. Going up against Ethan Saldana, an Oregon native. 50-plus games in his Utah State career. Face-off, taking it out of the defensive zone, Aggies. Here comes Bynan. Bynan leaving it for Anderson. Banderson puts on the brakes, tries to find LaPontaine, intercepted. Here comes Pankratz the other way. He's got a 3-on-2. Centering feed, Kramer, stopped by Anderson on a backhanded shot, trying to go bottom left-hand corner. Running 3-on-2 were the Grizzlies, but Titan Anderson makes the stop. Comes all the way down off a skate of an official. Pankratz and Ramsey bang into each other to the left of the net. Big hit there. Controlled by Montana now near side. Toila's wrist shot comes out. Rebound. Neibauer gives it a go to the right of the net. Another try comes in front and finally is out of harm's way coming down the far dasher. A race now. This will be icing against Utah State. Reese Bynan and looks like it was, yes, Matt Klein racing for the puck down the far wall. Ends up going all the way down, nobody touching it up. 15:05 first period, no score. Face off towards the stick of Teague Wagner in the far circle. Now bodies hitting the deck. Stretch pass off the stick of Anderson. Anderson gets a hold of it now. Takes a shot. Defensive traffic gets it in on Belay, who makes the stop, reaching down low. Anderson had bodies all around him, just bouncing off other players. 2 or 3 Grizzlies right in his vicinity, but still was able to fight his way through. Got a shot off that had some mustard on it that Belay was forced to put the clamps on the near post. Now Pierce with Bogan right behind him. Gets the face-off towards the near blue line. Check applied by Teague Wagner. Shot Pierce. Ends up going to the right. Seemingly coming out of a cannon. Rebound. Kareem's around the wall. Bogan keeps it in. Near side. Now cycling and around the wall to the far side. Gray Wagner meets it at the half wall. Learmonth does as well. Able to get it into neutral ice, but right to the stick of Garrett Bogan, who retreats into his defensive zone. Will look to break out down the near wall. Ferry in a race for it. Icing waved off. Near corner now, coming up the wall. Controlled by Gray Wagner into the neutral zone. Gray Wagner leaves it for Pizzi. Offensive zone offside. Looked like Teague Wagner looking to enter the zone right past the Aggies bench. Close looking to run into the zone that time. Nearly 6 minutes gone in period number 1. No score in this Mountain West Collegiate Hockey League battle between the Aggies and Grizzlies. Johnny Baird face off, red dot near side, sends it towards the stick of Titan Anderson on the near post. Defenseman Tate Jensen whips it around the wall into the neutral zone, but right to the stick of Gray Wagner. Gray Wagner down the near boards now. Anderson directing traffic, sees Jensen get to it initially. Now coming to the right of the Aggies cage for Jack Wallace, looking to send it out of the zone. Shot comes from Hamblin near blue line. Stopped by the stick of Anderson. Now some pressure taken off into the offensive zone. Nolan Gifford. Gifford and Johnny Baird slamming themselves into the far corner. Now behind the net comes Kindgren. Kindgren has it taken away by Wallace from behind. His centering feed. Loose in the slot. Bodies collide there. Rebound. Gifford got a shot off. So it comes now to the right of the Grizzlies net. Javi Hamlin looking to fish it out of there along with Wallace for the Aggies. Finally controlled Utah State. Gifford coming behind his own net. Gifford with Kindgren right in his hip pocket, putting him in a straight jacket to the left. Centering feed. Piers got free and scored. Top shelf from in the slot. Zach Piers makes it 1-0 Utah State. Got a sliver of space seemingly out of thin air, and the veteran knew exactly where to go. Found plenty of empty ice to take the shot. Top left corner, and the Aggies have the early advantage. One nothing Aggies, and a good start for the folks from Logan, getting this stretch started here in the Treasure State of Montana. And an early deficit for the Grizzlies. But that's not something that, in these early stages of the season, that has been rare whatsoever. It's off the draw. Ramsey slides it into the defensive zone, chased down by Alex Neibauer, leaving it near post for Klein. Klein gets around one man towards the stick of Clay Walker. Ramsey holds the zone, sends it to the left of Belay, who slides it into the far corner. Near corner, rather. Bynan gets it to Ramsey, tees it up. Hit shot, a pad save to LaFontaine at the far blue line. Anderson cycles behind the net. Bynan seeing it played around with. Play and catch behind the Grizzlies cage. Anderson ends up with it. Trying to spin around a man on the boards. Looks to be Pizzi. Pizzi fighting for it along with Neibauer. Comes loose. Shot from the right slot. Ends up going to the right. Anderson, a big hit. Planning hit. Alex Neibauer. Cold smoking a man in the far corner. Big hit brought to you by Kettle House. Ramsey the other way. Battling for the puck. Comes out towards LaFontaine. LaFontaine looking for Anderson. Intercepted by Neibauer. Slides it slowly to the left of Titan Anderson. Controlled by Utah State. Grizzlies making a change. Terry Learmonth, the neutral ice. Gobbles up the puck. Spins around and keeps it alive in neutral ice. Now a near side chance here. Solon Weiland into the offensive zone. But right to the stick of LaFontaine. Pankratz trying to keep it behind. Keep it alive behind as it comes loose, far circle. Pushing it out, Sanborn down the dasher. Weiland chases it down for the Grizzlies to the right of the net. Pass picked off by Sanborn. Weiland tries to get it back far corner. Comes up the wall a bit, now to the point. Slides to LaFontaine. LaFontaine hits the deck, looks to keep it on his stick. Pankratz has other ideas. Battling right up against the boards. Sanborn slaps away at it, gets it to the right of the net. Controlled now by Ben Kramers. Partially fanned a pass, comes loose in front. Sanborn not able to get to it. Right in front of the net for seemingly an eternity. And finally sending it back towards Titan Anderson as we near the halfway point of this opening period. 1-0 Utah State in this battle at Steed Arena. Defenseman Tate Jensen enters the zone along with Ferry. Ferry to the right of the cage. Centering feed. Off a skate. Bogan got a shot off. Off a deflection. Goes out of play over the head of Belay. 10:52 in our first period now. All the seating in this barn all across the way from us, the scorer's table and the benches. Nice crowd on hand for this neutral site battle here in Helena, Montana. Pierce to Bogan off the draw. Sends it in on Belay, who just pushes it into the corner. Towards the veteran Jackson Ferry. Ferry looking to battle it out of that near corner. Two Grizzlies right with him. Ends up getting slid to the point. Bogan sends it into traffic off the skate of Pizzi, now far blue line. Back into the corner. Ferry centering feed. Pierce had it for a second. His shot high, well out of play. Was able to wiggle himself into a pretty good spot as well in the right slot. It's Zach Pierce, the man who scored moments ago in this first period, the first goal of the night for Utah State. And really has just been, ever since entering this level, just has been one of the more productive players in the Mountain West Collegiate Hockey League. Actually, the last 3 seasons has been in the top 5 in scoring. Rabbit ends up with it. Far Boards has it taken away. Pierce, center of the zone, shoots it to the left, trying to come across to the near post. Pushed up against the wall to Bogan. Bogan slides lower. Ferry, shot off to the right, just barely. But kept alive at the far blue line, Jensen. Jensen slides it middle. Pierce dances around 2 men, gets it on the doorstep. His shot is loose and somehow corralled in front of the net by Joe Belay. How he found that puck, I have no idea. Right at the 10-minute mark, a media timeout, stopping play here in our opening period. Media timeout on ESPN Radio Missoula. Also streaming it on 1029ESPN.com. A fun night to be hanging out in Steed Arena here in Helena, Montana. Hopefully, if you're around the Garden City, we'll be able to check out Grizz hockey coming tomorrow evening. Utah, the opponents.
At Builders First Source,
should be a
we're
fun night,
harnessing the power of innovation to
Oh,
transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
Accidents happen, but where you choose to repair your vehicle is entirely up to you. At Capital Collision Center, we believe in giving you the power to decide.
Our top priority is your safety and peace of mind. Our experienced technicians are ready to restore your vehicle to manufacturer's guidelines using state-of-the-art training and equipment. Remember, it's your choice where you get an estimate and where you get it repaired.
When it comes to your vehicle, you're in the driver's seat. Visit Capital Collision Center and let us get you back on the road with confidence.
That see themselves as postseason tournament contenders. So it will be interesting to see how the results fall, who has the upper hand against a certain opponent and vice versa, and just use it as a measuring stick to see where everybody is at. Right at the halfway point of our period, number 1-0 Utah State offensive zone face-off for the Aggies. Puck trapped against the looks like siding of the cage, near post, and finding it there was Belay. Just a few seconds going by after the face-off. Nolan Gifford, very experienced cat as well. Triple-digit plus games in his career coming into tonight in an Aggies uniform. Pankratz off the face-off draw, looking to shove it towards the neutral zone. Pankratz slides a pass that's intercepted. Body's hitting the deck. No call comes. Max Toila retreats a bit. Fires it across the zone to the stick now of Pankratz from Learmonth. Tried to dangle a man. Good defense there in transition. Braden Moody with a poke check to keep Pankratz away from the cage. Other way now, Utah State neutral zone. Wallace runs in to a defensive hit coming towards Belay. Was the net dislodged? No, a big hit right at the blue line trying to enter the zone. Weiland with a depleter, cold smoking a man. Big hit brought to you by Kettle House Brewing. Now a puck flipped into neutral ice. Around it is Ben Kramers, but LaFontaine sends him to the ice on the far boards. Big hit from LaFontaine. Maybe a bit of now back and forth as Javi Hamlin plays out a man. Bynum into the offensive zone. Bynum looking to slide it towards the far blue line where LaFontaine waits. Grizzlies have other ideas as it comes near boards. Johnny Baird, backhanded pass. Graves towards the offensive zone. Graves and Walker running it in. Graves a shot right to the glove of Titan Anderson and the bottom left-hand post. 8:44, first period. 1-0, Utah State. Offensive zone draw. Left circle. Face-off comes towards a wrist shot that careens around the wall towards Javi Hamlin near blue line. Now out of the zone. Here come the Aggies running 3-on-3. Shot is partially deflected, high off the glass. Did it stay in? No, to the left of Belay. 8.5 to go, opening period. Both Wagners have checked on for the Grizzlies, along with Neibauer, Pizzi. Interesting line for Montana here, as Pizzi will take the draw. Luke Pizzi seeing Anderson hit the deck. Two men on the ice for Montana. Coming to Ramsey near blue line. Ramsey slides it to the right of Belay. Neibauer meets it behind the cage. Neibauer looking for somewhere to go. It's two men in blue around him. T. Wagner trapped up against the wall. Sees it slide. Ramsey fires it back into the zone. Now coming up the far wall. Gray Wagner able to get something on it. Past LaFontaine. Icing waved off to the left of the Aggies' net. As Pizzi runs into Ramsey. And LaFontaine behind also is T. Wagner. Wagner in a straitjacket. Two men right around him. Loses the puck. Ending up with it is Ramsey. Ramsey high off the wall. Weiland fires it right back in. Anderson behind the cage meets it. Anderson around to the near side. Shot Pankratz, not much on it from near the blue line. Ending up with the rebound and cycling it far post was Kramers back towards Pankratz. Pankratz leaves for Pizzi. Pizzi a centering feed, nobody home. As it comes now back into the neutral zone. Retreating is Bynum looking for some empty ice. Changes happening for Montana as Jensen stretch pass onside Pierce. Pierce slides far circle shot high out of play with 7-11 like a convenience store. Sam Pfeiffer out of Castle Pines, Colorado came running in with Pierce in that attack. Guess there's not many 7-Elevens here in the treasure state of Montana. Much more prevalent where the folks from Logan maybe grab a Slurpee or something after the game. Face-off win coming around towards Pierce. Now Bogan up the wall a bit further. Bogan slides it into the far corner. Met by Kramers. Kramers had it go right back to Bogan and neutralize, who now comes into the zone. Around one man, hits the deck. Defensive pressure. Kindren pushes it towards Kramers. Loses it to Ferry. Ferry, Bogan on the goal line. Looks it over. Looks to feed the near corner. Perry, tough. Pressure all around, ends up with Pierce. Pierce slides it near post. Wraparound shot is knocked up against the far boards. Ferry slides it towards Pierce. Pass intercepted. Bodies collide. Defensive zone. Grizzlies make a change. Plant looking for the puck near the red lines. It slid back into the defensive zone of Montana. Klein meets it to the left of Belay. Now Plant. Plant, a backhanded pass. Walker. Walker looked to feed it. And walking the blue line, Aggies were just offside, trying to re-enter the zone, so they'd retreat. 6:11 to go, opening period. Aggies still a one-goal advantage in our first period. As Bang goes off the roof. And now bodies hit the deck with a man in the right slot for Utah State with 6:05. Eli Reeves just hit the deck for the Aggies right in the slot. And it looks like we're going to see a penalty come in as a result against Johnny Baird. And indeed it was for roughing. 6:05 to go, opening period. Baird in the sin bin for Montana. Grizzlies will have to deal with what has historically been a very good power play for the Aggies over the years. And a very good system on their power play. Very well coached. Typically will run a 1-3-1 power play. It looks like that's what they got set up here. Anderson looked to slide a pass across, intercepted. Teague Wagner, short-handed. Teague Wagner able to backhand it around Anderson, now on the near post. Ran into two blue shirts there, though, as Anderson looks to wrestle it away. Able to come up ahead to Baum. Poke checked right on the blue line. Klein, nicely done. Grizzlies making life difficult to get the puck into the zone. Maybe set up that structure in the first place. Right on the blue line once again. Grizzlies make a change as looks like Neibauer and Klein check off. Learmoth and Weiland on for Montana. Two new defensemen with 5:20 and counting on this power play. Anderson attacking zone. Puts on the brakes at the half wall. Back to Anderson playing catch right on the near post. Baum near blue line. Slide, shoots, and right into the belly of Belay. With 5:07 in our first period, Aggies looking to add on to their 1-goal advantage. Grizz Hockey on 102.9 ESPN Radio. Also streaming always on 1029ESPN.com. You can also download that ESPN MT app. Get that in your life. Catch Nuanez Now. More contests here on ESPN Radio. However you're joining us, also, of course, GrizzHockey.com. Glad to have you. 5:07 face-off slides towards LaFontaine. LaFontaine looks it over right on the blue line. Leaves it Pierce. Comes down towards the goal line. One-time drive. Top shelf. Pierce scores. From the near circle. Put the gun back in the holster. Zach Pierce. Top right-hand corner. What a shot to make it 2-0 on the power play. What a rip that was. That was just a one-time drive right to the top corner. Nothing Belay could do. Just a beautiful shot from the veteran. And how do the Grizzlies answer? 5 minutes feel big now with a 2-goal deficit. Up the wall a bit, far side. Here comes Pizzi. Wallace in neutral ice takes it back for the Aggies. Leaves it for Gifford. Gifford tried to give it back to Wallace. Slides past his stick. Still kept alive, though. LaFontaine sliding it. Gifford in the slot has it poked away, but Ramsey holds the zone. Ramsey fires it in to the right. Wallace with Kindgren with him. Sees it come around near side towards Wagner. Wagner, center of the ice. Pizzi. Pressure from Wallace, knocks it loose. Now back with Ramsey. Ramsey, stretch pass up ahead, had poked away. Grizzlies making a change, but Plant able to find the loose puck right near the blue line. Slides, far side, Kindgren able to get it into the offensive zone for Montana, but right to Ramsey. Ramsey, pressure from behind, hits the deck. No call here. Close to a push in the back. Klein, near blue line, keeping it alive. Anderson has not been challenged too much in this first period. And we have seen one very noteworthy. This looks like we may have a penalty coming here. Yes, we do. With 3:49 to go in our first period, interference has been called. Puck coming into the offensive zone of the Grizzlies. So a big sequence here. Interference indeed has been called against the Aggies. Defenseman Owen Ramsey. So here you go if you're Montana. The Missoula Motor Company power play, trailing 2-0, 3:49 in our first. Chance here to turn it around in the opposite direction. Face-off win, Max Toila to Alex Neibauer. Neibauer putting on the brakes at the half wall far side. Neibauer slides it across near circle at his pass. Knocked off the stick. Anderson right there. Anderson able to clear down the near boards. Neibauer will reset for Montana. And will come now towards Klein. Klein speeds into the offensive zone. Pass is off a skate. Kramers able to find Pankratz as it comes near corner. Pankratz leaves it. Neibauer. Neibauer will come across the way into the far corner. Banged into the boards as Kramers hitting the deck. Pankratz looks to keep it alive. Aggies say nope as Bogan slides it down the near boards. 1:15 left with a man advantage. 3 minutes left in our opening period with Utah State leading Montana 2-0. Here comes Neibauer through the neutral zone. Alex Neibauer looks up, backhanded pass, shot, Kramers stopped by Titan Anderson. Another one-timer and a good look for Kramers, but Anderson with the pad, able to make the stop there as it comes out of play into the offensive zone of the Aggies to the right of Jordan Belay. 2:41 to go. Good ice awareness for Ben Kramers, able to get himself free in the slot. Got himself to an opening with the man advantage, trying to get to the back of the net. Titan Anderson, as I mentioned, has not faced as many shots as Belay has in our opening period, but Anderson has, with a couple of good offensive opportunities for Montana, has made big saves when he has needed to so far in this one. Face-off controlled by Montana. Play and catch around Belay, looking to find an avenue towards the neutral zone. Still on the power play for the next 30 ticks. Hamlin found in neutral ice. Tried to go diagonally across the zone, ending up with a Teague Wagner. His shot knocked down by LaFontaine. Gray Wagner cycling it back towards Pizzi into the corner. Right back to Gray Wagner at the half wall. Bit of a miscommunication going towards his brother Teague, as he will have to retreat into the neutral zone. Javi Hamlin, poke check away by LaFontaine as it slides back towards Belay. 5, 4, 3, about ready for the Aggies to be full strength as Clay Walker sends it into the zone. Back to 5-on-5 skating for the next 140 and counting. Ferry now will chase after the puck as it comes into the offensive zone. Weiland, a big hit from behind, jars it loose, but Ferry there to clean up the mess. Pierce gets to the puck, gets it to Jensen. Jensen partially fans a pass. Rabbit looks to get it back. Ends up with Ferry. Left slot shot is just to the right. A lot on that one from Ferry. Looking for it back in the slot was Ferry. Deflected pass, LaFontaine. LaFontaine to the left of the net. LaFontaine back to Pierce. Pierce slides around one. Pierce now behind the net. Pierce around in front. The shot just to the left on the feet. A beautiful pass right in front for Perry. 1 minute to go. Puck ends up with Rabbit. Looks up, looks for help. Rabbit to Weiland. Slid out of the zone, but right back to the Aggies. Johnson looks to play it around the wall, but right to Learmonth. Terry Learmonth with 47 seconds. Retreating back towards Belay. Grizzlies trail 2-0. Learmonth, stretch pass off the stick of Troila. Now Pankratz, tacking zone. Pankratz leaves it behind the play. Bodies going everywhere with now 30 seconds to go. 3-4 bodies down on the ice. Finally sliding all the way back towards Belay. Imagine for an icing call here, yes. I mean, there was a mass of carnage at one point with the loose puck being battled for in the offensive zone at Utah State. I think I saw 2 Utah State Aggies down. Legs were flying everywhere. At least one Grizzly as well. And actually looks like we will see a center ice face-off here. So an inadvertent icing call just moments ago, so the officials take it back to center ice. Face-off ends up coming towards Baum. Baum and Anderson lose it to Toila. Toila, Kramers sliding it towards the bench. Plant, almost planted by Baum. Anderson looks to win it back. Gets it back towards the defensive zone. Pankratz and Baum battled for it. Anderson ends up with it. Anderson able to get a shot off from right up top of the near circle. No problem there for Belay. Clock reads 45 seconds in our period. Hello. Well, clock set 45 ticks. Was just thinking, well, it seemed like we shouldn't have that much time left in the period. And indeed, we shouldn't have. That was the end of the period. I guess that's what happens when you rely on technology. So, end of period number 1. Not 45 seconds. And a Utah State Aggies lead by 2. 2-0 Utah State. They have the advantage. ESPN Radio, the ESPN MT app, GrizzHockey.com. Our first intermission begins right now.
Grizzlies can fix just about anything. That's why the University of Montana is the cybersecurity center for the Treasure State, training the next generation to defend what matters most. We deliver graduates with skills to fill more than 1,100 open cybersecurity jobs in Montana. As the region's cybersecurity hub, we'll be prepared for tomorrow's threats, because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
Why would any business let you use their product and give you 365 days of reassurance? Mattress Firm does because they believe in their mattresses. Save on top brands like Nectar, Tempur-Pedic, Beautyrest, Serta, Stearns & Foster, and others. Mattress Firm carries $149 mattresses all the way up to the luxury Purple Rejuvenate Premier. 0% in payments as low as $39 a month, along with 365 days of reassurance. See why Mattress Firm is Montana's best place to find the sleep you deserve.
Mattress Firm, where it's easy to get a great night's sleep.
I started in the journalism school, and then I went on to being the student photographer for the marketing department. Now I'm at my internship at the Portland Trailblazers. The professional network at UM has been everything for me. The connections you're going to build are like nothing you can get on your own. They gave me the skills I need to be successful here, and they gave me the network that I need to move forward in my career. Montana is a great place to learn how to be a photographer.
At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
Accidents happen, but where you choose to repair your vehicle is entirely up to you. At Capital Collision Center, we believe in giving you the power to decide.
Our top priority is your safety and peace of mind. Our experienced technicians are ready to restore your vehicle to manufacturer's guidelines using state-of-the-art training and equipment. Remember, it's your choice where you get an estimate and where you get it repaired.
When it comes to your vehicle, you're in the driver's seat. Visit Capital Collision Center and let us get you back on the road with confidence.
Play really was just a beauty from the near circle. Just a one-time rip to give the Aggies a 2-0 advantage here on the road. Bad news, obviously, for the Grizzlies in that respect. But if you're Montana, alluded to this in the first period, but coming back from behind, thinking about where Montana was in the first weekend of the regular season out in the Colorado area last week, they had numerous instances where they were able to battle from behind. Unable to get the win the first game of the season against the University of Colorado, but trailed in two different instances by 2 goals, once 2-0 and once 3-1, and were able to tie the game in both spots. And then the next night also trailed by as many as 2 against the University of Denver, and were able to win that game in overtime before leading all the way through in their last contest against MSU Denver. But one big key, maybe burying the lead in the midst of this first intermission, but the man that was a part of both of those wins, offensively especially for Montana, is not available tonight in Etan Garelnik, Gerelnik, who scored goals in each of Montana's first 3 games, not in the lineup tonight. Haven't seen him on the bench either. Hopefully just getting a little bit of rest here on a Thursday. Hopefully be able to lace them up inside the Glacier Ice Rink, especially at this point in the regular season. If you have any sort of nagging injuries, better to be safe rather than sorry. Look at the long-term ramifications of a long season. But looking at the schedule a bit further, one thing that does behove Montana, after that lengthy trip to get the season started out in Denver, they will see a lot of the Treasure State now coming up, as it is Helena tonight, Helena next week for their lone game of the weekend opposite Montana State. Then the next week, more action in the Glacier Ice Rink, another conference weekend against Boise State, and then Montana Tech, the final weekend of the season. Montana's next, now count them up, next 5 games over the next 3 weeks will all be played here in the Treasure State. So that will be a chance for Grizzlies to see some good competition while doing so close to home. Aggies off to a fabulous start, though, here in Helena, looking to get their conference season off on the right foot. 2-0 advantage for the Utah State Aggies. We'll talk about it further when we return on ESPN Missoula.
Stone of Accord, our liquor store, has an extensive selection of Irish whiskeys, wine, and local spirits. We also have exciting events daily, and our complimentary beverages are always served with a smile. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair, restaurant, liquor store, and casino. Bring the whole family to the Stone of Accord for a wonderful brunch. From traditional comfort food to eclectic specials, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And it wouldn't be a proper Missoula brunch without an Irish coffee and a mimosa. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair, restaurant, liquor store, and casino.
I started in the journalism school, and then I went on to being the student photographer for the marketing department. Now I'm at my internship at the Portland Trail Blazers. The professional network at UM has been everything for me. The connections you're going to build are like nothing you can get on your own. They gave me the skills I need to be successful here, and they gave me the network that I need to move forward in my career. Montana is a great place to learn how to be a photographer.
Steed Arena here in Helena. Grizzlies a 2-goal disadvantage opposite the Utah State Aggies. 2-0 here in this barn tomorrow night back in Zootown. Glacier Ice Rink for the first time this season. Surely will be a barn that the opponent tomorrow night will probably have some good memories of, at least returners from last season's iteration of the Utes, as they were able to, in a heck of a hockey game. Conference tournament was hosted in the Garden City last year, and it was University of Utah defeating Montana State, the eventual national runners-up in the Mountain West Collegiate Hockey League tournament. A great game came down to the end. First appearance in Missoula since that contest will be opposite Montana. This time, though, Utah actually gave the Grizzlies a round 1 defeat in that Mountain West Collegiate Hockey League tournament the last time those two teams got together. Utah also defeating the Grizzlies in the lone matchup in the regular season on the road in Salt Lake City. So, point being, a solid team coming to town. Missoula better be ready for it. 7:30 puck drop Friday night. Also, all the pregame festivities happening outside the rink from 5 to 7 beforehand. And then Greek Life Night Saturday night with Weber State coming to town. The Wildcats, always a solid team. Team that has been in the West Regional Tournament 3 consecutive years, also national tournament contender year in and year out as well. So 2 fun matchups in the Glacier Ice Rink, 2 solid hockey teams coming to town. Where would you rather be for your weekend, starting your month of October? Grizzlies and Aggies, more coming from the rink here in Helena after this.
At Shields, we're anglers, endlessly seeking and refining techniques. We're hunters and storytellers, because we've been out there. We're experts that put products and gear to the test, so we can share that knowledge with you. At Shields, we understand your outdoor journey and the path you're on, because we walk it too, every step of the way. Shields, right there with you.
What the?
What are you drinking?
I think I'll have a 56.
56 Counties American Light Lager, a beer for Montanans and friends of Montanans.
Access to Montana's great backyard is the best part of being a Grizzly. At the University of Montana, our classrooms are the mountain peaks, river valleys, and never-ending plains of the Big Sky Country. We provide students with the hands-on training to protect and enjoy hunting, conservation, and stewardship. UM launches the careers of outdoor leaders so that they can protect our traditions and ensure they are passed down for future generations. Because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Just getting ready for both teams to start making their way out onto the ice for our second period of action after one period here in Steed Arena in Helena. Glad you're with us for Grizz Hockey opening Mountain West Collegiate Hockey League conference battle between Utah State and Montana on your airwaves, the ESPN MT app, and GrizzHockey.com. Look at shots on goal from our first period that sees Utah State lead 2-0. Advantage almost doubling up. Montana in shots, so not just on the scoreboard with the advantage, but also shots on goal with 9 shots for Utah State and 5 so far for the University of Montana. That is to say, though, the Grizzlies did have a number of good chances offensively in that first period. One shot that stands out to me as the Aggies take the ice. Ready now, led by Titan Anderson for Utah State veteran netminder. Westville, Utah native, came into the season with over 40 wins in between the pipes for the Aggies and 85 starts. GAA under 3, a save percentage over 90, all very strong numbers for Anderson. Also Belay, no slouch himself last season, with a save percentage over 93% in his first season with the Grizzlies in 17 starts. Mentioned he went 1-1 the opening weekend over in Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. But back to what I was saying, shots on goal. Advantage, yes, Utah State, but a chance that comes to mind, golden for the Grizzlies on a power play. Ben Kramer's had a really good look in the last 5 minutes or so of that first period. Mentioned this throughout the course of the action as well. When Anderson has faced challenges, he has done a good job of stopping the shots that he has had to keep the Grizzlies off the board. Now what will Montana's offense do to try to get things turned around here in period number 2? We'll start off this period with Montana attacking the net to our left. Aggies will shift course to the right. 5-on-5, even Steven Skaten to begin the second period. Action at center ice, ready to begin. Here we go. Second period action. Stretch pass, Bynan for the Aggies. He's going to leave it for LaFontaine. LaFontaine dances into the offensive zone around Klein, trying to leave it back towards the half wall. LaFontaine pressured. Pizzi ends up with the puck, slides it back into the corner. LaFontaine able to cycle it back behind. 3 bodies wedged in the corner. Puck pushed up against the wall. Teague Wagner gives a look up, able to backhand it out of the ways down the zone towards Anderson. Ramsey will watch it go by the goal line. This will be icing just over 30 seconds into period number 2. Puck in the offensive zone of Utah State in the far circle on this face-off won by the Aggies, but out of the zone entirely as Ramsey retreats. A little snow shower there as the Aggies get back onto the puck into the offensive zone. Far circle, a shot slid, and now bodies in front of Jordan Belay as the puck comes out of the offensive zone altogether. Ramsey fires it back in, looking for the puck, losing it, but Klein has it in the far corner. Klein, Matt Klein, slides it near side. Here comes Pizzi towards the neutral zone. Luke Pizzi leaves it for Teague Wagner. Could not dance around Ramsey. Now a battle in the neutral zone. Bynan racing for the puck into the near circle. Bynan's shot is high and over the net. Bynan raced down the far dasher into the offensive zone. Sent to pass towards Belay. Didn't get a clean contact off the stick. Goes high and out of play. 18:49 in period number 2. Here comes the big man from the first. Zach Pierce take the draw. Face-off won by Montana. Ends up with Weiland. Weiland, the defenseman, cycles Learmoff. Learmoff, a peek up. Pass towards Kramers. Jensen right there at the blue line to knock it back towards the net. Learmoff to the left of the cage now. Learmoff. Stretch pass off the near boards into the neutral zone. Weiland rans into a brick wall there. Able to get it into the zone, but right to Bogan. Bogan and Toila converge. Now on the far post and the far blue line. Weiland fires as his shot off the roof, trying to find some traffic in front. Off a ricochet, it went off the tin roof, right at around the blue line. Remember that happening quite often the last time. Saw action here in Steed Arena. The roof is on fire. Why not? 18-19, second period. Face off towards the stick of Bogan. Bogan trying to get it back to the blue line. Couple of white shirts knock it out of the zone. Retreating, delayed whistle. Pierce ended up with it going towards Belay. What do we got here? We will see the puck come all the way down to the red dot away from us for a face-off in neutral ice. Looks like Gabe Kindren initially was going to walk up there. Now will be Baird. Face-off ends up with the Grizzlies. Plant sees it go by Baird into the attacking zone. Bond on it for the Aggies, looking to push it back out of the zone. Ends up with Kindren, a Rabbit rather, slides it. Ramsey planted up against the wall behind his own net. Taking it back, Montana. Look for a centering feed per Plant. Intercepted. Now out of the zone, near the red line, touched up by Hamlin. Ends up going right towards Wallace. Trading possession back and forth in neutral ice are both sides in a 2-0 game. Plant coming to the bench, able to get it into the zone with 17:35 to go. Utah State looking to break out towards Gifford. Walker has other ideas as he slides it slowly back into the offensive zone. No pressure though, as the Aggies get back on it. Whalen to Hamlin. Hamlin keeps it in the zone on the near post. Titan Anderson able to watch it go into the far corner. Knocked there. Walker towards Hamlin. Kramers shoots one into the middle of the zone, but cleared down by Utah State on the near post of Belay. This will be icing against the Aggies. 17 minutes, 2 seconds remaining. Period number 2. Still a 2-goal advantage for Utah State. Both goals in the opening period from Zach Pierce. Nolan Gifford against Gray Wagner. Ends up with Teague Wagner. His shot off the draw is stopped by Anderson on the near post. Neibauer looked to keep it alive, as did Gray Wagner, able to get it back into the zone from the neutral zone. But waiting behind for it is Bong. Bong able to get a lead pass up ahead. Here comes Gifford. Gifford slides it to the pad of Belay, coming out of the blue paint and out of play up and over the cage. Belay, a little quick slide to the right of the net. Pad was able to knock it up high. It ends up going out of play. Offensive zone draw this time for Sanborn and the Aggies. In the near circle against Pizzi. Face off, ends up getting knocked into the near corner. Klein hits the deck behind his own net. Aggies look for a centering feed in front. Wall of White keeps it away from that as it comes back to LaFontaine and Ramsey in the neutral zone. LaFontaine fires it around the wall into the near wall, far wall rather, half boards. Sending up high is Neibauer back out of the zone. But right to LaFontaine. LaFontaine retreating back as is Ramsey towards Anderson. Now up ahead, Sanborn and Walton. Walton in the neutral zone, had it knocked around, able to get it to Belay, who puts the glove on it on the far post with 16:06 in our second. Still 2-0 Utah State. LaFontaine and Ramsey, the two defensemen. Sanborn will take the draw. Toila for Montana wins it towards Terry Lerma. Ben Kramers now near boards, looking after a loose puck that comes into the offensive zone along with Pankratz. Pankratz loses it to LaFontaine, but not for long. Centering feed, knocked away. Kramers tries again towards Pankratz. That taken away again as well. Sanborn walking the blue line, passes back LaFontaine, retreating a bit. Now to Ramsey near the bench of the Grizzlies. Back across the way. Pass gets away to Pankratz. Pankratz tried to play it off the boards into the zone. Had that intercepted right at the blue line. Delayed offsides called as well. Ramsey plays it off the near boards, now into the offensive zone of Montana. Hand comes up with bodies colliding right below us. Maybe a penalty coming here. Didn't see the contact. It was out of our viewpoint right below us, but just heard and felt this bang of the board down below us. So we'll see if a penalty's on the way here. Looks like it. Roughing penalty has been called against the Grizzlies, Terry Learmonth. So indeed, penalty against U of M. With the 15:27 mark of our second, with Utah State leading already by a pair, having been successful in the first period on a power play, they have a chance to add on even more. And what a start for the Aggies here on this 3-game road trip. Chance to really take a firm grasp of this one now. LaFontaine, shot high off the glass, but still alive. Zach Pierce tried to slide it. LaFontaine, stick keeps it out of harm's way. Luke Pizzi shorthanded, cannot track it down. LaFontaine into the neutral zone. Dangles one man, coming straight down the pipe. Has it knocked away into the far corner. LaFontaine keeps it alive. Cycles it into the corner. LaFontaine sees it go to Pierce. Zach Pierce, far side. Pass fan by, look to be, Pierce. Playing catch LaFontaine. Pizzi able to knock it back into the neutral zone nicely once again. So Luke Pizzi doing a nice job killing off some penalty time. Pierce back into the zone. Pierce, far circle. In front. Ends up with Ramsey near circle now. Loose puck. Still controlled by Utah State. Pfeiffer on a pass from Ramsey. Looks up. Pfeiffer will come behind his net. Beg your pardon, that's Ferry. Has it taken away. Javi Hamlin, but still keeping it alive as Ferry sliding slowly. LaFontaine backhanded, trying to keep it in the zone. Comes high now, out of the zone. Short-handed, here comes Montana into the offensive zone. 2-on-2. Shot, rebound, kicked around, ends up loose now behind the Aggies' cage. Baird with the short-handed look. Now 35 seconds left of the man advantage, Utah State. Here comes Ferry, attacking zone now behind. Jackson Ferry coming up the wall, leaves it up against the boards, pass intercepted. Toila clears the zone. Now Kramer's had it poked away by Baum. 19 seconds left from the man advantage. Bogan up ahead, leaving it for Baum. Baum ran into pressure. Aggies making a change. Grizzlies make it clear. Titan Anderson having to deal with Kramer's on a rebound. Shot that goes around the net to the right. Anderson behind the cage. 3-2-1. Learmonth back on the ice. Grizzlies back to full strength. Bynum back into the offensive zone as a pass gloved down by Klein. Klein tries to cycle it around the wall. Instead it goes out of play, I believe, to the left of Boulay. 13-16 to go. Now back to even Steven 5-on-5 skating with Utah State leading Montana 2-0. I would think from a mental standpoint as well, if the Grizzlies can manage to get something on that score sheet, allow them maybe to exhale a bit. Face-off win, Montana. Coming a pass intended for Teague Wagner all the way down towards Anderson. This will be icing against the Grizz. .13 and change now in our second. Close to the halfway point of our hockey game proper. Yes, I've mentioned in the past, math not my strong suit, but even I can do that one. Klein battling Anderson. Slides Ramsey. Ramsey into the middle. Now towards LaFontaine, loose near side, back to Anderson. Anderson shot off a skate, kept alive by Ramsey, far boards. Gets it back into the corner. Now cycled further down. Back up to Ramsey. Passes Pham. Hitting the deck was Teague Wagner, allowing Ramsey to retreat back into his defensive zone. Ramsey up ahead. Bynum into the offensive zone for Utah State. Across the zone. Shot. Rebound in front. Kicked into the far circle. Now controlled Pankratz. Pankratz backhands it out. Getting it out of harm's way with 12:25. Offensive zone right back towards the blue line. Anderson running into Neibauer. Pass across into the far corner. Kicked around. Sends one in. Boulay makes the stop. Far post. Rebound ends up with Klein. Trying to use his speed to work his way into the offensive zone. Cannot, as it's knocked back towards the stick of Boulay behind. Boulay. Neibauer near corner. Across the way towards Clay Walker. Knocked up high towards the neutral zone. Ends up with Bynum and Wallace. Wallace, Mooney. Mooney backpedals a bit as it comes to the right of Titan Anderson. Plenty of space for the Aggies to settle it down. Stretch pass to Wallace. Knocked around by Clay Walker right at the red line. From behind the play, Gifford fires it into the zone. Klein meets it to the left. For Montana, as it comes loose back to the red line. Mooney. Mooney into the zone for Utah State. Walking the blue line, Gifford. Attacking zone. Left circle, now knocked into the corner. Clay Walker and Klein meet it there up against the boards and knock it towards Mooney. Mooney keeping the pressure on. Will the Aggies make a change as Boulay steers it to the right? Yes, they do, as Reeves checks on for Utah State. Battles for the puck in the defensive zone. Sent back in to the right of the cage. Weiland able to find it there for Montana. Knocks it high off the wall towards Learmonth. His backhanded pass intercepted by Walton in neutral ice. Walton now backtracks into the defensive zone. Bynum up ahead. Pass walking the blue line is taken back by Rabbit for Montana. Now Learmonth near side. Learmonth looks it over. Comes back the other way towards Weiland. Weiland off the far glass towards Baird. Johnny Baird retreating a bit back towards Learmonth with Sanborn in his hip pocket. Still going back are the Grizzlies. Like they're going back on a long fly ball. Now up ahead comes Baird, racing into the offensive zone. Baird on Anderson near post, forced to put the glove down with 10:33. Baird was able to wiggle through a couple of blue shirts and get right in close to the blue paint. Almost doing it all himself there, trying to get Montana on the board. 2-0 Utah State. Approaching the halfway portion of this period number 2 with 10:33 remaining. Max Toila sees a face-off won by the Aggies. Look out as it comes just to the left of the Grizzlies bench. Closest man to it was team trainer Mitch Willard. Quickly into the offensive zone. Puck trapped against the near siding of the cage. Now leaks out far side. Controlled initially by the Grizz, but right to Jensen around the red line. Ending up with the loose puck. Sent out of the zone. Now back into the zone. Kindgren knocks it towards Hamlin. Play and catch with Kindgren. Kindgren has it taken away by Pierce. Looking to get it back to the blue line. Waiting there is a wall of white. Here comes Max Toila. He's got plenty of speed. Max Toila in the near circle. Has it knocked into the corner nicely, though, by Jensen. Ferry comes up, cleans up the mess. Pankratz in support, keeps it alive. Pankratz sends it in front, nobody home. Jets to reset for Utah State. Here comes Jackson Ferry. Ferry, far post, shot, rebound. Wrister in front, ended up loose right to the Grizzlies. Here comes Pizzi. Pizzi in on Anderson, a 6 save. Rebound, Wagner near circle. Looking to dance around men. Pizzi, shot left slot. Bogan putting his body on the line. Wagner the rebound. It's knocked down as well. Ends up with Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer lost it to Pizzi. Hit shot well to the right of the cage. Neibauer, far boards, in the corner. Lost it to Bogan. Bogan can't sweep it away. Shot ends up Gray Wagner. Rebound is high off the glass. Media timeout. It's seemingly a good time for it, with a lot of activity in the offensive zone for the Grizzlies. Puck just bounding around the boards. Lots of shots on net, trying to break through here in period number.
At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
Accidents happen, but where you choose to repair your vehicle is entirely up to you. At Capital Collision Center, we believe in giving you the power to decide.
Our top priority is your safety and peace of mind. Our experienced technicians are ready to restore your vehicle to manufacturer's guidelines using state-of-the-art training and equipment. Remember, it's your choice where you get an estimate and where you get it repaired.
When it comes to your vehicle, you're in the driver's seat. Visit Capital Collision Center and let us get you back on the road with confidence.
3, the U 104.5, all locally on your radio dial back in Zootown. Keep listening in, so you'll have chances to win on all of those stations. Grizz hockey tickets throughout the season. Face-off shot, Teague Wagner ends up with Anderson of the Aggies. He lost his footing. Rebound, lunging out and knocking the rebound away was Anderson, taking some pressure off. Here come the Aggies into the offensive zone, but not for long, as Klein had it for a moment in the far corner. Anderson wins it back there. Slides a pass behind the cage. Looking for the near point, as is Ramsey. Will the Aggies go that direction? Anderson has it still behind the net. Now coming now towards the far post. Pass looking for Ramsey across the crease. Couldn't find him. Maybe a little backdoor cut for Ramsey, not to be. Teague Wagner with 3 blue shirts around him, trying to keep it in the offensive zone. Ramsey has other ideas to the right of the cage. Ramsey had a pass up ahead, partially blocked towards Anderson. Sends it high off the glass. Now into the offensive zone, Utah State. Looks it up with Learmoth, putting on defensive pressure, far corner. Anderson there as well for the Aggies as it comes now out of the zone. Here is Clay Walker. Attacking zone, leaving it far blue line. Learmoth in transition. Shot, rebound, Toila right there. He scores. Max Toila, leading scorer for the Grizz last season, tallied his 100th career point last weekend. And for the second time this season, Max Toila lights the lamp to make it 2-1. Grizzlies on the board with 8:01 to go in period number 2. Initial shot taken by Terry Learmoth in the left slot. Rebound leaked out in front. Waiting for it right on the doorstep was Toila. All he had to do was push it into a seemingly empty cage. Nothing Anderson could do to stop that one. And the Grizzlies cut the deficit in half. Max Toila, the senior out of Minocqua, Wisconsin. It's been one of the most productive scorers in this iteration of Grizz hockey dating back to 21. Now can the Grizzlies keep the hammer down? Battle for possession and neutral ice now. Learmov loses it to Pilgrim. Offensive zone, Aggie shot near blue line, and a blocker save made. Belay right as the puck entered the offensive zone. Rebound, Gifford gets trapped into the near corner. Pilgrim slides it back into the other corner. Baum looks to meet it there. Bodies colliding, one being an official. Far circle, taking it back behind, centering feed. Pilgrim got loose and he scores! Right in the left slot. An answer from Utah State almost immediately to get the deficit back up to 2, or the lead to 2. T. Pilgrim, one of the new additions to this roster for Utah State out of Kohler, Wisconsin. So I guess all Dairyland all the time here in this second period. Just heard from Max Toila out of northern Wisconsin, now out of Kohler. For Utah State, it's Pilgrim, making it 3-1 Aggies. Got loose in the left slot, did Pilgrim, who was able to bury the shot past Belay. And what an answer from Utah State. Kramers face-off, takes it right into the zone, and a shot ricochets high off the glass, stays in play. Max Toila battling up against the boards, trying to wrestle it out of the half-wall area. Comes up towards Gabe Kindgren. Kindgren passes it back towards Toila, taken back by Bogan. Bogan able to trying to muscle his way through traffic. Puck slides in front of the Aggies net, taken back Jensen. Jensen through the neutral zone, now to the left of Belay. Hamlin meets it in the far corner, now directly behind. 4 bodies over there, one of them being Kindren, pushing it towards Javi Hamlin. Hamlin up ahead, neutral zone. Pankratz able to get it to Ben Kramers with some momentum. Attacking zone, knocked off the puck nicely. Good defensive pressure applied by Tate Jensen. So comes down to the left of Belay. Met there, Ferry. Ferry looks Pierce, dangles a man. Tried to go to the far blue line to Ramsey, but that pass broken up. Here comes Pizzi. Pizzi runs into Ferry. Ferry in neutral ice, able to get it cycled into the offensive zone behind Belay. Meeting it now, Hamlin there for Montana. Half wall far side, Wagner runs into Pfeiffer. Bodies hitting the deck. Ferry being one. Here comes Teague Wagner towards the neutral zone. As a result, plays it off the far boards, racing towards the net. Anderson out of the blue paint, able to knock it against the wall. Met by Ramsey, far corner. Ramsey way up ahead. Pass off a skate. Is battled for in neutral ice now, controlled by Gray Wagner. Gray Wagner, a look up, a slide to Alex Neibauer. Neibauer backhands around Ferry, but meeting it in front of the cage was Ramsey. Ramsey back into the far corner. Ramsey with pressure right in his hip pocket, sees it comes loose. Gray Wagner to Baird. His shot is knocked down to the left. Kept alive, Klein. Klein, far circle feed. Tried to leave it for Plant. Did Gray Wagner, had that broken up. Nearing the 5-minute mark of period number 2. Leading by 2, Utah State, with Titan Anderson freezing the puck in the bottom right-hand corner. A chance maybe for both sides to take a deep breath with really a pretty quick pace in this hockey game so far. Not a ton of stoppages here in this second period. Just an even flow. Hopefully nobody resting their pillow on some concrete tonight, though, after the game. Yes, that was a Pearl Jam reference. Gotta have some fun up here. 4 bodies up against the boards near side. Comes loose ball. Trying to backhand it out around Anderson. Grizzlies keep it in initially. Klein doing it best he can. Other way, Bynum with some space. Got around the defense. A glove save is made by Belay. Reaching up to the left. Got loose. Just ripping into the offensive zone did Reese Bynum. But Belay able to make a big save going top left-hand corner. Keep it from being a 3-goal deficit. Anderson and the Aggies controlling in front of Titan Anderson. Lane catch. Stretched up ahead towards the red line. Ends up with Anderson into the attacking zone. But Pankratz, Bynum bring it in to the left. Traffic there, but keeping it on the stick initially. Taken back by Klein. Matt Klein attacking zone. Finds Kramers. Puts on the brakes. Toila near circle. A pad save is made by Titan Anderson. Grizzlies still have it initially. Now taken back to the right of Anderson with 3:40 to go in period number 2. Leading still by 2 are the Aggies. Both teams on the score sheet in period number 2. It's the Aggies 3 and the Grizzlies 1. Wallace in neutral ice. Baum wants it. Pass intercepted by Toila into the attacking zone. Toila dangles, shoots off to the left just barely. A little toe drag for Max Toila entering the zone. Learmonth behind the play, now in neutral ice, will look to work its way back in. He does. Learmonth across the way, Kramers. Stick save made, bottom right-hand corner. Wagner on the rebound, lost it. Now here comes Utah State with Gifford attacking zone. Near circle shot is right of the net and comes all the way back towards Bogan. Bogan and the Aggies, Jensen. Now near the blue line. Jensen way up ahead in front of Wallace. This will not be icing coming into the far corner. Wallace looking to fish it out of the corner, cannot. Ends up with Jensen though for the Aggies. Dumps it into the zone to the left of Belay. Meeting it, Learmonth towards Wagner on a backhanded feed, taken away by Gifford. And Bogan. Bogan's shot knocked down by Hamlin, ends up in the near circle. Comes around far side now, taking it there, Bogan. Bogan gives a look up, comes behind the net. Has a man coming into the crease, not going to throw it there. Instead goes Jensen. Jensen near blue line behind the net. Met by Utah State coming up the wall now, far side. Slid down in front. Nobody home for the Aggies, but still controlled in the near corner. To the right, Luke Pizzi looks to work its way out of the zone. Walking the blue line and ends up with Pizzi once again. Now Learmonth. Stretch pass and knocked into the zone by Gray Wagner as Montana makes a change. Under 2 to go in period number 2. Stretched way up ahead, onside, Utah State, Ferry. Pfeiffer battling with Klein as it goes into the far corner. Jensen met it there, as did Ferry. Ferry centering in front, Sanborn, his shot off to the right. Whistle stopping play. Sanborn got himself to a good spot in the left slot, but his shot was wide with 1:34. Now the face-off coming for Zach Pierce in the offensive zone. LaFontaine keeps it alive at the near blue line. Now Sanborn. LaFontaine near circle still on this side of the ice. LaFontaine methodically working it now behind. We'll try the other way with it. With Kindgren right there as it comes up the wall. Slid Ramsey keeps it in the zone and knocks it back to the left. Met by Ferry. Ferry centering feed. Pierce fanned a shot, tries again as it comes high. Still in the offensive zone. Up high on the glass. Ramsey with 1 minute to go goes right into the breadbasket on a rich shot from near the blue line. Owen Ramsey, the former Bighorn, trying to make something happen here in his old home barn. Played with the Helena Bighorns previously in 2023. 58 now ticks left in the second. Face offense up with Neibauer, sends one around the wall, far side. Neutral ice now, Anderson battling Kramers as it comes into the offensive zone of Montana. And now into the corner, taking it Toila. Look to get it towards the cage, now behind Toila. The Kramers gets it back, does Toila near circle. Centers it in front. Anderson takes it back. Whistle stopping play, 36 seconds to go. High stick has been called. A high stick called with 36 seconds remaining. That will see an advantage for Montana. The high stick penalty going against Utah State in this spot. Jack LaFontaine, the guilty party. 36 seconds left, period number 2. Montana trailing 3-1 in an area where they have been very good. Looking back to last weekend able to score on the power play in all three of their games. And chance here maybe at the end of the period. But now 30 seconds left. Klein controlling. Get back in it. We'll see. Alex Neibauer slides it in on Titan Anderson. Will now get up to the near blue line. Klein cannot hold the zone. Time ticking away now in period number 2. Klein will retreat back towards Belay. Maybe one more run down the ice. Here comes Klein, the Chicago native, through the neutral zone. Now behind Anderson with less than 10. Now puck careening out of the zone with 3. With 2, Neibauer closest to it. That will end the second. So not much offensively in that second, or that last 30 seconds or so with the man advantage for the Grizzlies. It is a 2-goal advantage for Utah State. Both teams getting themselves on the board in our second period. But after Montana made it a 2-1 game, we saw Utah State answer quickly back moments after Montana made it 2-1. Aggies came back with a counter blow themselves. They will go back into the locker room with a 2-goal lead over U of M. One last period coming to you. One last intermission starts now on ESPN Radio.
At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
Accidents happen, but where you choose to repair your vehicle is entirely up to you. At Capital Collision Center, we believe in giving you the power to decide.
Our top priority is your safety and peace of mind. Our experienced technicians are ready to restore your vehicle to manufacturer's guidelines using state-of-the-art training and equipment. Remember, it's your choice where you get an estimate and where you get it repaired.
When it comes to your vehicle, you're in the driver's seat. Visit Capital Collision Center and let us get you back on the road with confidence.
DeMorris Buick GMC has the SUV you need to safely travel Montana's ever-changing roads in comfort and style. The aptly named GMC Terrain is not only sure-footed and ready for any Montana road, it's eye-catching and loaded with features. And right now, you can take advantage of closeout pricing on 2024 models starting at only $26,890. Don't miss this opportunity. Visit DeMorris.com for a preview and then stop by DeMorris Buick GMC on West Broadway in Missoula, your family-owned hometown dealership for over 60 years.
From Steed Arena here in Helena, Montana, is the Utah State Aggies leading the University of Montana. Tally after 2 periods of play, 2/3 of the way through our action. Aggies 3 and the Grizzlies 1. Montana, thanks to Max Toila in that second period, felt like they had found a counter to the start of this game that saw Utah State have an advantage, but a big counter blow thrown moments later. See that from a mental standpoint, tough, as Teak Pilgrim lights the lamp for Utah State, give the Aggies a 2-goal advantage. So it will be a come-from-behind effort, the idea, for U of M if they want to have a chance to fight their way back into this one. 3-1, a quick timeout, back more after this.
It's easy to see why Montana is the treasure state. At the University of Montana, we look inside. We see an old truth with fresh eyes, that Montana's greatest treasure is its people. So whatever tomorrow brings, we meet it the only way we know how, with a mind for making. Because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
If you're watching us on the ESPN MT app, you're seeing the Zamboni cruise around the rink. We got about 10 minutes to go before we start our third period here in Helena Steed Arena. Grizzlies will make 2 more trips out here throughout the course of the season. Next week, seeing Dave Weber's Montana State Bobcats for the first time this season. That should be fun. Cat Grizz, whenever you see that, be an idea. Then the Montana Cup come January as well, featuring all 4 teams from across the Treasure State. Well, what's been going on with teams in the state of Montana so far? Mentioned the Grizzlies' record at 3-2-1. Providence out in Colorado, fantastic start. They won 2 of 3, 2-1 record for them. Montana State was 3-0 opening weekend of the season. And not to be forgotten, Montana Tech also got their season kicked off last week. A split at home opposite Eastern Washington over in the mining city, losing the opening contest but got an overtime win last Saturday. So 1-1 are the Orediggers in their second season of hockey over in Butte, America. Still plenty to get to in the midst of this second intermission. Teams starting to think about heading their way back to the ice. We'll step away for now. Maybe take a look at shots on goal, some other themes from our first period, or second period, beg your pardon, when we return. Aggies lead the Grizzlies 3-1.
Shields were anglers, endlessly seeking and refining techniques. We're hunters and storytellers, because we've been out there. We're experts that put products and gear to the test, so we can share that knowledge with you. At Shields, we understand your outdoor journey and the path you're on, because we walk it too, every step of the way. Shields, right there with you.
What the?
What are you drinking?
I think I'll have a 56.
56 Counties American Light Lager, a beer for Montanans and friends of Montanans.
Access to Montana's great backyard is the best part of being a Grizzly. At the University of Montana, our classrooms are the mountain peaks, river valleys, and never-ending plains of the Big Sky Country. We provide students with the hands-on training to protect and enjoy hunting, conservation, and stewardship. UM launches the careers of outdoor leaders so that they can protect our traditions and ensure they are passed down for future generations. Because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
Accidents happen, but where you choose to repair your vehicle is entirely up to you. At Capital Collision Center, we believe in giving you the power to decide.
Our top priority is your safety and peace of mind. Our experienced technicians are ready to restore your vehicle to manufacturer's guidelines using state-of-the-art training and equipment. Remember, it's your choice where you get an estimate and where you get it repaired.
When it comes to your vehicle, you're in the driver's seat. Visit Capital Collision Center and let us get you back on the road with confidence.
Clock continues to tick on down here in Helena towards our final stanza of regulation. Mountain West Collegiate Conference battle for your Thursday evening. That's on the menu all weekend long for Montana Grizzly hockey. Glad you've decided to spend some time with us here on ESPN Radio, the ESPN MT app. Also on GrizzHockey.com, Jeff Safford getting ready to bring you what will be a third period with the Aggies leading by a pair. And it's been really for a chunk of the game now. Utah State leading by 2 goals. I would think the first couple of minutes, surely the first 90 seconds of the third period rather, will be very big. Remember, LaFontaine for Utah State, defenseman, picked up a penalty in the closing moments of our second. So Montana will have a power play for the first 1:23 of our third period. Trailing by 2, that will be big for the Grizzlies. Obviously, if they're able to light the lamp in that spot, that would give them a push of momentum, trailing by just 1 for, in theory, the remainder of the period, trying to trace down the lead. Will Montana be able to try to find a come-from-behind victory, or will it be the Aggies in their first game here in the Treasure State, finding a positive result before heading to Great Falls tomorrow? We'll find out soon on ESPN Missoula.
the whole family to the Stone of Accord for a wonderful brunch. From traditional comfort food to eclectic specials, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And it wouldn't be a proper Missoula brunch without an Irish coffee and a mimosa. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino. At the Stone of Accord, we use the freshest ingredients to create our homemade traditional Irish classics, fresh salads, and creative specials. Come enjoy our warm, family-friendly atmosphere. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino.
DeMorris Buick GMC has the SUV you need to safely travel Montana's ever-changing roads in comfort and style. The aptly named GMC Terrain is not only sure-footed and ready for any Montana road, it's eye-catching and loaded with features. And right now, you can take advantage of closeout pricing on 2024 models starting at only $26,890. Don't miss this opportunity. Visit DeMorris.com for a preview and then stop by DeMorris Buick GMC on West Broadway in Missoula, your family-owned hometown dealership for over 60 years.
Well, back right in the nick of time as the Utah State Aggies have just made their way onto the ice. Here comes Jordan Belay and the Montana Grizzlies. Looking for a come-from-behind effort for what will be our final period of play here at Steed Arena in Helena, Montana. Aggies hold a 2-goal advantage, score 3-1. As we begin period number 3, remember, as I mentioned right before the end of the last break, Aggies will start this period with 4 skaters on the ice. Grizzlies will have a 1-man advantage for the first 1:23 of this third period, and a quick chance for them to try to get themselves a 1-goal deficit. And thinking about a comeback effort, just getting a lead down to 1, like it's a Luke Bryant country song, that is always something big to shoot for. As you get closer to the end of a period, just give yourself from a mental standpoint that feeling of belief that with an empty net, potentially you can make things happen. Now, obviously, you can score 2 goals and forget about all that. But we'll see what our third period has in store for us. Center ice, here we go. Puck getting flipped down towards Belay. A good start for the Aggies. Down a man here as the puck will start in the zone to our left. Alex Neibauer now through the neutral zone and into the attacking zone near side. Neibauer puts on the brakes at the half wall. Couple of blue shirts meet him. Klein keeps it alive. Partial screen from Toila, able to send it Kramer's way, far corner. Now up into the far boards, or near boards rather, but past Neibauer. Out of the zone. And dumping it down into the defensive zone is Anderson. 45 seconds left for Montana to work with. Pankratz walking the blue line. Bodies collide. Bogan bringing a man to the deck. Centering feed off the stick of Klein. Now far circle. Pankratz knocks it to the left of the net. Taken there by Toila. Gets it back to the point. Klein. Matt Klein to Max Toila. Toila, a wrist shot knocked down by Bogan. Then out of the zone. Now back behind, controlled by Johnson of the Aggies with only 19 seconds left with the man advantage. Grizzlies making a change. In neutral ice, here comes Gray Wagner. Whipping down the far dasher. Wallace knocks the pass away, kept alive. Teague Wagner, his shot, didn't get through traffic. Last couple of seconds ticking off the power play. Back to full strength now, Utah State with the puck coming in front of Belay. Now Wagner near circle in the defensive zone. Stretch pass off the far dasher, controlled by Gray Wagner. Now coming back behind for Clay Walker. Clay Walker will send it back behind the Grizzlies net. Now Javi Hamlin up ahead, Gray Wagner. Pizzi feeds Teague Wagner, who slides it into the offensive zone. Couple of blue shirts meet it. Puck sent, rebound, sent high. Backhanded shot is kept alive high off the glass. Thought it was going out of play. Comes down the near boards. This will be icing called against Utah State. Sliding slowly past the bench of Montana. With 18 minutes to go in period number 3, Utah State able to get around that power play of the Grizzlies and keep their 2-goal lead at 3-1. Tomorrow, maybe, the Aggies will be shipping off to Great Falls. Tonight in Helena. Not shipping up to Boston, I don't think, this season. Who knows? Yes, Dropkick Murphys on that last track. Here's Terry Learmoth. Through the neutral zone he comes, but offside are the Grizzlies. In this instance, is a crazy little thing called offsides, as we see a red dot face off right below us. Here's Baird for the Grizzlies with Weiland and Learmoth waiting behind. Face off ends up with Ferry. Now Pfeiffer. Still backtracking are the Aggies. Mooney now will go up ahead with it to Ferry. Ferry to Pfeiffer. Into the attacking zone, near circle. Look to come in front. Piers. Piers wins it in the near circle. Centering feed. Nest dislodged on the near post. Ferry had some space in the right slot. Maybe a fortuitous net dislodging there around Belay. Piers found it in the near circle, was sliding a pass across the crease to the right side. Ferry was waiting. The net was dislodged in the midst of all that. Play stops with 17:30 in our third. Piers wins the draw back towards Mooney from the far blue line. His shot ends up going to the glove over the cage of Belay, but Belay reaches up and snacks it out of thin air. 17-27, our final period. A 2-goal lead for the folks from Logan, Utah. Zach Piers loses the faceoff this time, ends up with Kindgren. Stretch pass Pankratz, now Kramer's on the touch. Centering feed, Toila has it slide towards Titan Anderson off the stick of Toila, but not anything on it. 17, now 16 and in the third. Gifford and Toila to get locked up here. Far circle. Face off ends up with Kindgren. Far blue line sent high off the far dasher. Off of Pankratz. Now walking the blue line. I believe the Grizzlies came out of the zone just barely, and this will be offsides. Yes. It's going down at Steed Arena here in our third period. Aggies the 2-goal advantage. Face-off win, Toila towards Kindgren, who dumps it into the zone. The other 16 meets it, though, for the Aggies. It's Ramsey battling Pankratz directly behind the cage as it comes now to the right. Trying to get it back towards Hamlin at the near point is Pankratz. Aggies think otherwise. Trying to get it towards Wallard. Wallace is Gifford. Gifford comes back into the near corner with Ramsey there in support along with LaFontaine. Able to take it out of there for Utah State was Pilgrim. Pilgrim up ahead, Wallace trying to race past Hamlin. Hand comes up, delayed penalty coming here against Montana. Delayed penalty against the Grizz. Puck ended up on the stick of Pankratz near the bench. Whistle stops play, and we have a penalty on tap for a slash. Guilty man is Gabe Kindgren with 16:38 final period. Chance once again on the power play for the Aggies. This sequence bared fruit in the first. Anderson slides down to start off the movement. Bomb near blue line. Shot was off to the left of the cage, but reaching out on the near post was Belay. Not letting that puck careen around the wall. 10 seconds gone. Comes back into the near circle. Face off, goes to the right of the net. Lermont couldn't fish it out of there. Going to take it back to the far blue line. Bogan trying to slide it low, had it nicking away. Weiland clears it down for the Grizz. Right towards Anderson, who will just wait for help. No changes made on either side. Here comes Bogan. Garrett Bogan into the attacking zone. To the left of the net, left for Anderson at the half wall now. Anderson slides it down. Bynum behind the cage to Bogan. Bogan half wall now near side with Anderson. Anderson shot is off to the right and comes all the way out of the zone. Down the far dasher to the left of Anderson. Now finally touched up by Utah State. Slowly meandered all its way down the ice. Now Bynum, attacking zone, turning on some speed, and offside, running into Plant. Colton Plant was there as the puck was coming towards the offensive zone. That forces the offsides. 55 seconds left for Kindgren in the box. Piers to take the draw for the Aggies against Gray Wagner. In neutral ice, this face-off ends up with LaFontaine now attacking zone. At the half wall, LaFontaine slides still on the far side. Ferry. LaFontaine will keep it now goal line, far post. Pass Ferry. Back to LaFontaine. Near side now, Piers. Piers has it poke checked away and out of the zone. Ramsey right at the blue line sends it back towards the net. Now Ferry in neutral ice will come back into the zone. Jackson Ferry, centering feed intended for Piers, knocked into the far corner, right back to Ferry. Hand comes up again. We have interference called. Another penalty. Interference indicated. And this time, the Aggies will be headed into the sin bin. Sam Pfeiffer called for interference with 15:01 in the third. We will see 4-on-4 skating for the next 23 seconds before Montana will have a stretch of time on the Missoula Motor Company power play. Potentially, Grizzlies trail 3-1 as of now. Max Toila has it off the draw. Comes at the point, now centers it to Neibauer. Neibauer near blue line now will send it to the right of the cage. Kramer's able to wedge it out of there. Kramer's across the zone. Toila, wrist shot, ends up going to the right, but still in the zone, controlled by Klein. Klein with Pankratz coming into the zone. He has it now, far blue line. Will Pankratz leaves it for Klein. Klein shot into traffic. It's knocked up against the wall as Montana is now skating with a man advantage for the next 120. Kramer's sees a shot careen around the wall all the way down. The far dasher comes all the way down to Belay. Still over a minute on this power play with 14 minutes now remaining. Alex Neibauer able to glide into the offensive zone, slide it to Toila. Far corner, back to Neibauer, directly behind the cage. Centers it, Kramer's rebound, Toila knocked down by LaFontaine in the far circle. Still in the zone. Pankratz, a good look. His shot is high to the right. From the near circle, a great look there for Pankratz, but missed the net entirely. Klein back on the puck in the defensive zone. 35 seconds left with the man advantage. Here comes Klein with a little head fake into the attacking zone, far blue line. Here comes Klein, looks it up. A backhanded fade towards Kramers is kept alive into the near corner and tried to slap it out of the zone. Utah State. Anderson tries again. This time gets a stick on it all the way down towards Belay, who leaves it on the right-hand post. Belay is still not gloving it down as he'll leave it for Hamlin. Hamlin reverses course. Wagner now back to Gray Wagner. Last 5 seconds ticking off the power play. Here comes Gray Wagner into the attacking zone. This is Teague. Teague Wagner, far post, puts on the brakes, looks up, looks for Gray. Instead it was Clay Walker, sends a tip shot to the right of the net. Still in the attacking zone. Now comes out of play near Utah State's bench with 12:51 left in the third. Aggies still the lead by 2. Who will jump on this faceoff? Aggies do. Here comes Anderson. Past the red line, he glides into the attacking zone, now near circle, gets pushed into the near corner. Hand comes up, another penalty will be coming here. This time the Grizzlies will be going back into the penalty box. Whistles aplenty in this third period. Weiland shaking his head. He is called for a slash. Soren Weiland, the guilty party, first-year man in the Grizzly program out of Lakeville High School. Seen a lot of ice time first 4 games of the season, but another chance for this Utah State offense with a 2-goal advantage. Face-off ends up with Piers. Now LaFontaine right back to Piers, playing catch now to the left of the net. Piers back on it, near circle. LaFontaine, shot is into the glove of Belay. Jack LaFontaine, NCAA D3 transfer, second year with the Aggies. Transferred from Assumption University, did LaFontaine. Now Ferry, once again, wins the face-off. Back with it, LaFontaine. Slides it across the way to Piers. Piers on the stick of Ramsey. Near circle, LaFontaine shot. Kicks around, Kindgren ends up with it. Tries to cycle it out of the zone, he does. As it comes all the way back to Anderson behind the Aggies' cage. Anderson will leave it for Piers on the near post. Zach Piers, the Orange County native, now approaching the neutral zone. Will have a pass, get away, ends up with Kramers, short-handed, faking it towards the net. He lost it. Poke check from behind. Able to recover, did LaFontaine. Almost a big turnover with a man advantage. Piers attacking zone. Still over a minute to go on the power play. Ending up with it, Ferry. Slides it, Ramsey, far blue line. Ramsey back to Ferry. Ferry looks, now to Piers. Near circle, straight on LaFontaine. Back to Piers. Around his stick, comes up against the glass. Allows Pankratz to clear it down. 45 seconds left on the power play for the Aggies, leading 3-1, nearing the halfway point of period number 3. Here comes Bogan through neutral ice. Gray Wagner right at the blue line. Now a couple of white shirts around him, able to keep it alive. Here's Anderson. Anderson for the Aggies, far circle. Will leave it up against the half boards, far side. Getting in the way was the defensive Gray Wagner. Pokes it away from LaFontaine. Here they come, short-handed, far circle shot. Anderson makes the save. On the far post, Gray Wagner, great hustle coming into the offensive zone, short-handed, getting a shot off. Last 10 seconds of the power play coming off. Anderson looking to make something happen. A wrap-around pass is taken away. Now pushed against the half boards, far side. Learmonth flips it up ahead towards Plant. Right around the red line. Aggies will fight it back into the offensive zone to the left of Belay. Montana back full strength at the 10:25 mark, period number 3. Utah State holding a 3-1 advantage. Matt Klein up ahead. Teague Wagner with some space. Teague Wagner able to get it into the offensive zone to the left of Anderson. But meeting it there, Utah State slapping it towards the neutral zone. Learmonth will find the puck. Defensive zone to the right of Belay. Exactly halfway through now. Alex Neibauer looking to get by Sanborn. He does. Alex Neibauer, the Missoula native, ran into two blue shirts, trying to fight through both of them as it comes behind the net. Centering feed, gets out of the zone. Good hustle showed by Neibauer. A lot of toughness there, trying to set up an offensive chance. Javi Hamlin, neutral zone, now into the attacking zone, rips it over the top of Anderson's head. And our final media timeout of the evening has been indicated.
At Builders First Source, we're harnessing the power of innovation to transform the future of home building. With 14 facilities across Montana, Builders First Source is your one-stop shop for building materials. From lumber and windows to trusses and siding, whether you're building single-family homes or multifamily units, we've got you covered. Visit BLDR.com to learn more. Builders First Source, building Montana's future, one home at a time.
Accidents happen, but where you choose to repair your vehicle is entirely up to you. At Capital Collision Center, we believe in giving you the power to decide.
Our top priority is your safety and peace of mind. Our experienced technicians are ready to restore your vehicle to manufacturer's guidelines using state-of-the-art training and equipment. Remember, it's your choice where you get an estimate and where you get it repaired.
When it comes to your vehicle, you're in the driver's seat. Visit Capital Collision Center and let us get you back on the road with confidence.
Does because they believe in their mattresses. Save on top brands like Nectar, Tempur-Pedic, Beautyrest, Serta, Stearns & Foster, and others. Mattress Firm carries $149 mattresses all the way up to the luxury Purple Rejuvenate Premier. 0% in payments as low as $39 a month, along with 365 days of reassurance. See why Mattress Firm is Montana's best place to find the sleep you deserve.
Mattress Firm, where it's easy to get a great night's sleep.
Just coming out of our final media timeout of our third period, or I should say our final media timeout of our contest in general. Face off in the attacking zone of the Grizzlies. Will Pankratz to the left of Titan Anderson of Utah State. Kept alive, far blue line, Neibauer. Shot on the rebound, Pankratz also off to the right. Trying to slap it out of the zone was Wallace, able to get it out. Klein sends it back in, but right back to Wallace. Wallace and Klein trading possessions back and forth, walking the red line. Shot back in by Toila. Anderson able to push it to the left of his own net. Toila tried to center it for Kramers. Kramers ends up with it coming behind the cage. Now Toila towards the stick of Pankratz, hitting the deck. Klein behind the play. Sees a shot go high off the glass. Neibauer. Now Kramers to the left of the net. Two defenders right with him. Trying to keep it into the zone. Neibauer. He cannot as it leaks out into the neutral zone to Toila. Toila fires it in from near the red line right to the glove of Anderson, who is going to hang on with 8:44. 8:44 remaining, period number 3. A lead by 2 for Utah State. And that is a sentence I'm sure that the Aggies will like to have said for a chunk of time here. Try to keep some of that high leverage sort of thoughts out of the Grizzlies' minds. Face off up against the far wall. Players slapping away at it. Weiland able to chase down a loose puck. Weiland gonna work his way behind the net. Now Learmoth. Terry Learmoth, the far dasher. Pass up ahead, backhanded into the zone by, looks like Gray Wagner. Puck lost it for a moment, out of play by the Aggies bench. Pucks that from our vantage point that come right up against the glass near the bench of the Aggies or at the scorer's table can be a bit of a guessing game of where the puck actually is. Near circle face-off for the Grizzlies, and Baird ends up going back towards Weiland. Montana, the defenseman, shoots it into the zone, ends up going towards Rabbit to the left. Fished out of the zone by Ferry. Ferry lost track of it near the red line, allowing Plant to send it into the Grizzlies zone along with Baird. Battling in the near circle, puck steered into the far corner by Titan Anderson. Grizzlies on it first off the rebound, trying to cycle it back behind. Now bodies planted in that far corner. 4 of them to be exact. Ferry looking to get his body in there along with Pierce. Comes behind LaFontaine, the closest to it for Utah State. Cycles it back into the left corner. Ramsey can't chase it down. Comes up towards Ferry, who just knocks it out of the zone. Pfeiffer able to get it into the offensive zone for the Aggies. Hitting the deck. Piers taking it to the doorstep. Shot was knocked into the left-hand corner. Dangerous look for a moment with the Grizzly blowing a tire in the defensive zone. Taking it on the net. Ferry able to get it towards LaFontaine. Leaks towards the far circle. Now into neutral ice. Here comes Baird with speed. Running 2-on-1. Baird, a pad save. Rebound taken out of there by Piers. Now LaFontaine the other way. 2-on-1 for the Aggies. LaFontaine, a dangle, a backhanded shot. Goes to the right. Under 7 minutes to go. Back and forth. Couple of offensive chances. Now Kramer's in open ice. Near circle. A body hit in the deck. What a defensive play made by Moody to knock it to the right of the net. Grizzlies keep it alive. Toila slides. Klein shot high off the glass. Still in play. Taken by Bynum. Out of the offensive zone. Now around the red line. Klein takes it back. Toila attacking zone. Kramer's offside are the Grizzlies with 6:29. Kramers cannot believe it. See a face-off come out of the zone. Grizzlies still trail by 2. Face-off win. Utah State. Bogan sends it in. Belay will be forced to put the glove down on it, despite there not being much pressure around him. Puck sent in from neutral ice. Not taking any chances. Face-off ends up with Bogan of the Aggies. Fires it into traffic. Puck goes to the right of the net. Cycling ends up with the Grizzlies. Gray Wagner knocks it out of the zone down the far dasher. Gets in the way of the puck as it comes to the left of the Aggies net. Now behind, a wall of blue has it to the right of the bench. Anderson stretch pass up ahead, taken by Kindgren. Now Teague Wagner. Wagner around Jensen. Teague Wagner looking to take it all the way to the net. He cannot as it's knocked into the corner. Anderson slides it out of the zone as Kindgren hits the deck. 4 bodies battle for the puck. It ends up with Anderson for Utah State. Anderson looks up, dangles a man through the neutral zone as he comes into the attacking zone. Anderson still on it, try to centering feed, taken by Pankratz, or at least knocked away partially. Aggies on the puck behind, looking for LaFontaine in front. No, it's Anderson finding. Now a ricocheting puck. It is LaFontaine on it. LaFontaine cycles it to the left. Bynum touches it for Anderson. Anderson looks up, gets to the far post now and slides it to the point. Bogan, one touch. LaFontaine, a one-timer, is stopped by Jordan Belay on the near post. LaFontaine let it go from just below the blue line in front of the Grizzlies bench with 5:13. Third period, still a 2-goal advantage from the folks from Logan. Gifford for the Aggies with Ramsey right behind him, the former Bighorn. Face-off knocked into the left corner. Pilgrim ends up with it, who scored in our second. Pilgrim cycles it on the near post, meeting it there. Klein slides it towards Pankratz. Ramsey trying to get involved for the Aggies to keep it in the zone, knocking it off his glove, retreats a bit and fires it right back into the zone. Neibauer finds it far corner. Comes to Klein, off his skate. Gifford tries, parallel to the goal. Not much of a chance. Wallace tries to chop away at it. He cannot, but it ends up with Ramsey at the near point. Ramsey fires, off a skate. Still alive, LaFontaine, far blue line. His shot, fan. Ends up with Neibauer. Backhands it down the far dasher. Racing after it is Kramers to the left of the net. He wins the race behind. Bodies collide, a big collision with Ramsey as it's knocked loose to the left of the net. LaFontaine trying to poke it out. Gets enough on it to get it there. Max Toila with a little bit of a bump sends it into the zone as the Grizzlies make a change. Under 4.5 to go. Clay Walker rips one coming into the zone. Almost tore the glove off of Titan Anderson. That shot came seemingly out of nowhere coming into the offensive zone. Clay Walker had some velo on that one. like it was a Missoula paddlehead fastball. 4:08 to go, 3-1 advantage for the Aggies still. And as we approach the 3-minute mark, we'll start to keep an eye on Jordan Belay in that blue paint. When will head coach Marcus Baxter think about potentially pulling Belay? Get that extra attacker out there. I would imagine probably with a 2-goal deficit somewhere between the 2.5 and 3-minute mark remaining. Face-off, Lermov flips it into the offensive zone high. Won by the Aggies. They'll come all the way back down to Belay, who's got the hand up. Indeed, he is correct. That's icing. Zach Pierce, 2 goals in the first for Utah State. 1 on the power play. Max Toila getting involved to make it 2-1 in the second, only to watch Teague Pilgrim make it 3-1. Haven't seen a goal since. There's only 3:45 left in our final period. Offensive zone draw for Gray Wagner, knocked up against the sidewall near side. Now Pizzi, backhanded shot ends up high and off the glass. Sent towards the near blue line. Hamlin has it there, now far blue. Kindgren fires towards the net, gets all the way on Anderson, who's forced to make the stop. Right into the breadbasket, looks like, of Anderson through traffic. Far blue line, Gray Wagner will get it locked in with Pierce. Face-off, War goes behind Anderson. Now Pfeiffer flips it, not out of the zone. Kept alive initially. Now Bond up ahead. Ferry look to play it in the offensive zone, coming to the left of Belay. Runs into some pressure. It's on the near post. Now slid far side. Pass intended for Gray Wagner, taken by Pizzi. Out of the zone, but slides to the Aggies as Baum will settle things down, coming back towards Anderson. And anything involving the clock moving, Utah State obviously will take at this point, with there being now less than 3 to go. Ferry, near post, slides across the crease, nobody home. But Pfeiffer is half boards far side, keeping it in. Now towards Pierce. Pierce into the corner. Ferry tried to center it towards Pfeiffer. Now played near the Grizzlies bench. Baum lays a hit, as does Neibauer near the bench. Comes loose with 2:35. Whistle sounds, looks like a penalty is coming, with contact taking place right in front of the scorer's table. Believe this is going to be a penalty against Montana. And obviously a big time for a penalty here if you're the Grizzlies with and indeed it's Alex Neibauer going into the box. So Neibauer, the guilty party for roughing with 2:35 to go. Montana trailing by 2. So that's obviously an extremely tough time to pick up a penalty. And now we'll see coinciding penalties called. As I was seeing that the Aggies, Sam Pfeiffer was called for a penalty as well. So we'll see now 4-on-4 skating with just over 2 minutes left. I would say that's actually an advantage for the Grizzlies. See a little bit more open ice. Potentially some more opportunities to find some space to be able to make something happen. And as the puck comes into the offensive zone, just saw Titan Anderson stop play with just over 2 minutes to go, 2:20. Looks like Jordan Belay has come to the bench. So the Grizzlies will have the net empty now, trailing by 2, looking for something special here to end this one in the third period to give themselves a chance. Timeout has been called by Marcus Baxter, also for the Grizz. So timeout on the ice with 2:20 left. Face-off will come in the zone of Utah State as well to the right of us. So in my opinion, a great time for Marcus Baxter to use the timeout. You have yourself the puck in the offensive zone, a chance to get Belay off the ice, a chance to talk everything over in these end game sequences, try to set everything up the best way you can. With the puck exactly where you want it in the offensive zone, and you have the extra attacker on as well with Belay sitting on the bench. Utah State has led from the first period on and will now look to hang on for the final 2:20 to come away with a big win here in Helena to get this 3-game stretch started here in the Treasure State. Face off in the zone of the Grizzlies. Slid towards Klein. Klein, glove down, a pass. Hamlin's got it. Hamlin crossed the zone. Pass was partially deflected, but Klein keeps it alive. Slid now behind. Teague Wagner on the near post. Looks a one-timer. Rebound. Kramer's had his shot knocked down. A miscommunication. Puck gets away. Klein in the defensive zone racing back towards an unoccupied net. Able to find Toila. Trying to settle things down a bit. Max Toila up ahead. Neutral ice. Hamlin. Hamlin attacking zone. Left for Wagner into the zone. Getting tripped up a bit by Anderson. Didn't get a call. Toila slides. Hamlin, far blue line. Wrist shot. Traffic goes to the left. Toila with 90 ticks to go. The Grizzlies trailing by 2. Sees a shot. Rebound. End up gobbled up by Anderson. Thought maybe there'd be a rebound initially. Shot came from Toila. Anderson maybe was able to gather that out of thin air coming out of the blue paint on the second bounce. Hard to tell, but was able to make the stop. 1:25 left. Can the Grizzlies find a goal here to make it interesting coming down the stretch? Klein has it off the face-off in the offensive zone. Klein shoots a rebound, is loose in front. Lunging out is Anderson in the blue paint with the glove. Just jumped out. That puck was sitting there dangerously in front of the net. For a second or two, Anderson was able to see it, lunged out of there, and was able to put his glove on it to stop it with 1:17. Nice work from Anderson, who's been pretty darn good tonight. Gray Wagner, far corner off the faceoff. Pankratz slides Klein. Klein fakes a shot, passes Walker, knocks it down. Teague Wagner does, beg your pardon. Wagner lost it out of the zone. Unoccupied cage is sent to the left by Wallace. 1 minute left. A minute to go. Grizzlies skating with an empty net. Looking like a daunting task now with less than 50 seconds, trailing by 2. Unoccupied cage sent to the right. This will be icing against Utah State. That one was sent from well down the ice. Off target a bit. The coinciding minors will come to an end in 6 seconds, with Neibauer and Pfeiffer making their way back towards the ice. 41 seconds, face-off win, Grizzlies. Luke Pizzi with the puck, shoots from the near circle, bodies in front, sees it go to the left. Ramsey looking to fish it out of the corner. Ramsey pushes it up ahead. Whistle stops things with 28 seconds, and a cross-checking penalty has been called. And I believe against Utah State. Indeed, Jack LaFontaine has been called for a cross-check with 28. Empty nets, now a 6 skating on 4 advantage. And I believe a timeout has just been called. Indeed, it has been. Grizzlies used their timeout earlier. Now it's Utah State's going to burn their final timeouts. Want to talk about the defensive alignment with a 6-on-4 coming in short order for the Grizzlies. And that's where things surely get to be big in this sort of a sequence. How different would this feel if it was a 1-goal game versus a 2-goal game like what we see here. I would imagine Utah State would be feeling a little bit more heat if this were a 2-goal sequence or a 1-goal advantage, but 2 goals at least gives you that little bit of leeway, especially with the situation we find ourselves now, with there being 28 ticks left up on the clock. Trying to give themselves a happy trek to the Electric City are these Aggies. They'll take on Providence tomorrow and then wrap up this road swing on Saturday opposite Montana State. But surely a step in the right direction if they're able to get themselves a win here in Helena. Coming back to the ice now with 28 seconds to go. Utah State leading 3-1. Fans here in Helena trying to get into it a little bit as well. Face-off win, a big one towards Pizzi from Toila. Loose on the near post, rebound, kicked around, still kicked around. Finally, the Aggies end up with it and able to slide it into the neutral zone with only 15 ticks left. Now Klein up ahead, Neibauer with time ticking away. Poke checked right at the blue line nicely. Able to get a loose puck towards Anderson somehow, who puts the glove on it. Looked to me like it was a theft from, looks like, Anderson at the blue line. Somebody behind the play sneaks in, able to get a shot in on Anderson. But now less than 10 seconds to go. Alex Neibauer with Klein. Takes something wacky now. Face off, knocked to the right of the net. Baum takes it into the corner, last couple of seconds ticking away, and the Utah State Aggies come to Steed Arena, an arena that burned them last season. They right a wrong here in the first game of the conference season. Does Utah State? They lead all the way through. A final tally tonight here from Steed Arena. It's the Utah State Aggies 3 and the Montana Grizzlies 1. A well-played game for the folks from Logan, Utah, and they have the advantage for most of the night. Zach Piers, their captain, gets them going in the first, and they were able to hang on the rest of the way. Another big sequence in this contest here tonight was, I felt, the second period that saw Montana cut the deficit to 1. Max Toila getting the lone goal on the board for the Grizz. What happened? Not even 90 seconds later. Boom. Teague Pilgrim, another Wisconsin native, was able to find the back of the net for Utah State. Get the lead right back up to 2. That just, to me, felt like a huge counter punch. And really the absorption of a punch if you're Utah State in that scenario. So the Aggies get a huge win here on the road. Montana will think about now heading back to the Glacier Ice Rink for their home opener tomorrow opposite the University of Utah. We'll wrap up this contest and get you ready for a fun weekend that still lies ahead for us here on ESPN Radio, 102.9, ESPN.com, also GrizzHockey.com and the ESPN MT app. We'll take one last break and come back to wrap up this hockey game after this.
What the?
What are you drinking?
I think I'll have a 56.
56 Counties American Light Lager, a beer for Montanans and friends of Montanans.
At Shields, we're anglers, endlessly seeking and refining techniques. We're hunters and storytellers because we've been out there. We're experts that put products and gear to the test so we can share that knowledge with you. At Shields, we understand your outdoor journey and the path you're on. Because we walk it too, every step of the way.